full-blown addict said. My dad said that.
Don't say that right now.
Oh, Dad.
Clavicula is an insane streamer who seems to be one of the biggest influencers in the looksmaxing community. He is known for saying the most outlandish shit just to pass it off as advice for young men to achieve a perfect male physique, I think. He usually does things like bone smashing, where you take a hammer and continuously bash it into your face. He does this so he can achieve the perfect male facial structure. Needless to say, this guy is totally insane. And as if smashing his bones weren't enough, he also takes and abuses steroids. Clavicula is the kind of person to run a person over for being an alleged stalker.
Is he?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Or drop the N-word whenever he feels comfortable.
$.
Yeah.
You'll clav your AG, keep it up.
Thanks, nigga. Appreciate it.
Because when people suddenly press him for using the word, he shuts down like a malfunctioning AI.
I'm not scared. The fuck? You're not gonna do it.
Listen, bitch, nigga. You a trick, nigga.
Go ahead, bro.
Push it by now. You a millionaire by push it. You a trick.
Go ahead,
I ain't gonna be million by push.
We chilling. We chilling, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Please. Go ahead. No, it's fine. Let's go.
I'm gonna let you know, bro. You talk about black people,
get that
talk
a
about
lot?
my kids.
Keep
Now you know that from now
get that a
on.
lot?
When you say something about black people, you say something about my kids.
Keep selling
Bitch
candy,
ass
bro.
nigga.
Keep
So
selling
next
candy.
time you say something about black people, you say something about my kids, and I'll do whatever for my kids. Bitch ass nigga, change the content.
That's your boy? No, that's my boy.
Bro,
That's your boy?
You ain't gonna do
Bro,
shit.
tell this nigga to
Tell
go
him
ahead.
out the way and let's square up. Let's do it. Me and you.
I'm not fighting anyone.
Scared, man. It ain't even gonna go down like that. Hey, don't touch me no
I'm not scared. I'm excited.
Bro, I can fight. I can fight. I ain't gonna fight you.
I'm not gonna fight you either, bro. I'm
Clavicula is very popular in the looksmaxing community, which is a section of the internet who think they can become Ryan Gosling or Henry Cavill by doing little things that normally was just to go to the gym or maybe mewing. But ever since more insane people like Clavicula has entered the space, it has become a place where insecure men like Clavicula think it's okay to smash a hammer into your face. Normally, in spaces like this, red pill, etc., the goal is to get women. Even though getting advice from a red pillar would probably end with you losing everything and everyone and dying lonely. But with the looksmaxing community, the male gaze is what they are all fighting over. They're too busy mugging each other to have any conscious relationship with a woman. See, Clavicula comes from a home of bodybuilders, which makes sense as to how and why he became so insecure. He started taking testosterone at 14, 2 weeks after he started the gym.
Take me back to 14-year-old Brayden. I have always had the mentality that if something is going to get you to your goals quicker, then why not go for it, right?
When he first started, he only posted on forums like looksmax.org, which is one of the new spaces that popped up after Reddit started shutting down the controversial subs on their site. By the time Clavicula was 16, he was spending about $700 on steroids.
So like, yeah, this clip. So you were 17 in that picture there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, aren't you also just growing up? You don't think that you would have like...
No. I agree that, you know, a lot of the times people go through puberty and they look a lot better. That tends to be how it goes.
He was also extremely antisocial, up to the point of posting about it on the forums he frequented. He even gave people advices on way to use various steroids together. He called this steroid stacking and started asking about plastic surgery while trying to watch YouTube videos to perform it on himself. This boy is a complete moron. And as if that wasn't bad enough, he also tried to perform DIY Botox treatment on other students. All this just goes to show you that whatever Clavicula does or say, especially right now, is something he has been thinking about for years now. Because people might think, oh, nah, he's just clip farming. But no, this guy is totally insane. A lot of his fans have been criticizing him, saying he's gotten smaller and he's losing muscle mass because of how much time he spends streaming. See, Clavicula got kicked out of college. Why? Because they didn't want a maniac roaming around school properties or mingling with other students.
I was kicked out of uni for essentially roid maxing.
But he says it's because another student snitched on him.
Unfortunately, someone decided to archive all of my posts, send them all to the public safety at my university.
The school ended up checking his room and found all the steroids he had in there, and then they expelled him. Clavicular, after getting kicked out of school, didn't seem to care. He took that 250k he could have spent on college and decided to use it to become the ultimate Alpha Sigma Greek god by spending it on looksmaxing and becoming an influencer. Although when he started posting, his videos weren't getting the best views. He jumped on the looksmaxing trend on TikTok in 2024. Looksmaxing was already a thing before him, so Clavicular wasn't the first influencer to do this. There was another guy before him, K Shami, and their whole shtick is trying to look like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho as much as possible. See, Clavicular being so popular he's being parodied on SNL wasn't only due to looksmaxing, because the K Shami guy isn't nearly as famous as Clavicular. That's because Clavicular, unlike other Patrick Bateman cosplayers, is a degenerate. He throws the calculated, strong, calm demeanor right out the window, and he also streams on Kick. And you know, the only people who usually stream on Kick are low-life degenerates or gamblers. Clavicular also joined up with low-life streamer number 2, Neon, who is a disgusting waste of space just on his own, and he tried to put some socks on Neon's shoulder to make him seem bigger.
Do this anymore, but I used to. Okay. But like, you could do rides. Y'all look like this actually.
Bro, this is fucking insane, bro.
Yeah.
Why work out when you can just tape socks to your chest or whatever this part of your delt?
Clavicular gifted us his best techniques he used to improve his physique, like thumb pulling, where you use your thumb to push back on your mouth so you can widen your jaw, or bone smashing, where you try and create microfractures by smashing your bones with something heavy like a hammer. See, after his parents saw him doing the whole bone smashing thing, they took away his hammer because they thought he was going insane. So this dumbass started using a baseball trophy instead, which would give him so many bruises. He had to explain to his co-workers at work how bone smashing worked and why he was doing it to himself.
This is an OG bone smash. This is me. Guys, I used to look like this before I went to work every day, and people would always ask me, like, what the f is wrong with you? I was like, I don't know, bone smashing. And I worked with a lot of people who were older, right? So some of the servers there were, literally like 60 plus sometimes, and I would be trying to explain bone smashing to them, and they'd be sitting there looking at me like, what the f is wrong with you, man? But I would still, every single time, I'd show up to work just like this, just after bone smash.
But recently, Clavicular started saying bone smashing is a myth, and that it might not even work, but he still does it though, every day, because it makes his jaw more refined, I guess, and he has a penis pump. Like, what the actual fuck is that?
I was about to hook up with a bitch. I would always fucking sneak off to the bathroom and LARP that I had to take a piss real quick, and your girth is like 0.5 inches bigger. That's a legit max right there.
He's also trying to get a double jaw surgery, which will bring both his jaw forward like a Neanderthal. Even though the surgery costs 35k and it might cause implications in the future, Clavicular doesn't really care. He just wants that ultimate Sigma, Nigma, whatever the fuck it's called, mindset.
Like basically make a cut on the lower jaw and then move it forward and apply screws, and same with the upper jaw, and then advance your jaw forward. It's like they actually have to break your jaw.
How much is that going to cost?
$35,000.
He's also trying to get leg niche surgery to go from 6'2 to 6'6.
Why are you spending $100,000 on surgery to go from 6'2 to 6'6"?
That is more about just presence, right? I've always valued presence super, super highly, right? You walk into a room, people notice, right? You're standing in the middle of a club, you're an outlier, right? That to me, just because people will come up to me, they'll say, oh, well, 6'2", that's already very tall. But in terms of percentiles, it's only 91st percentile, right? 6'6", we get to 99th.
This boy is mentally scarred because height surgery is the worst thing you could do. You're not guaranteed recovery, and it could go very wrong real fast. You could lose your legs forever, and even if you could use your legs, it would be limited. You would never be able to even run again, because during the surgery, what they do is they break your legs and put tiny little titanium rods so it lengthens your leg and it heals around it. But you will probably never be able to run or be comfortable with your legs ever again. And for a few more inches, that shit ain't worth it. Clavicular might have started off good, and maybe he had good intentions, but I think being on Kick and around other degenerates made him basically go nuclear. But I actually don't think he's ever going to drastically change his appearance. I don't think he's going to go through with the jaw surgery. or the leg lengthening surgery. I mean, he's making too much bank right now. If Clavicular has ever taught us one thing, it's faking it till you make it. Because even after all the bone smashing, he's still extremely insecure about his looks. So much so, he's looking into cosmetic surgery. Check out my last video.